do a review of a recent purchase, which is a cheap, really lightweight backpacking tent. It is the Lanshan 2. Anyone who's done any kind of research into lightweight backpacking will kind of know of this. I got it off AliExpress. I think it was about £91. But the price varies, but that's about as cheap as I could find it. This is obviously not the stuff that it comes in. What it comes in is basically a roll top bag that has a double cinch with fast X clips, but you've seen other reviews and it says it's pretty hard to get it back in once you've had it out. You have to roll it in a specific way, and I prefer just to stuff my tents in. So I got I put it in a 8-litre Cedar Summit dry bag, and it fits pretty fine. I could get it smaller than this, but just left it like that for now. The new thing for me about the Lanshan 2 is that it doesn't use tent poles, it uses walking poles. So uses the Lanshan 2, which is a 2-person tent, uses 2 of any type of walking poles you have, or if you don't use walking poles when you're hiking, then you can buy just folding, like carbon folding poles that will keep it up the same. But that's obviously, it contributes to how lightweight it is because you're not carrying poles that are just used for to keep the tent up. So obviously, if you use a bit of gear for 2 uses, then you're saving weight. With this tent, you get 8 small pegs. I'll just give a close up of this. They're quite similar to the MSR Mini Groundhog, except they're X style. I don't know if that's focusing or not, as opposed to a Y style. Each peg weighs 11 grams, so 88 grams for the pegs total. I've set this tent up once before, and they seem fine. So what I'll do, just like my review of the Wild Country Zephyrus 1, I'll set it up, I'll speed it up for you. Hopefully it goes smoothly, although this is the second time I've set it up. And I'll never set up, this is my first trekking pole tent. And then I'll go through all the specs of it once it's set up. Okay. So that's the tent all set up. You can see, hopefully you saw when I set it up, the structure of it where the trekking poles are. They're at these 2 peak points, and then these guy lines are kind of providing the tension to keep the actual structure of the tent. I was a bit skeptical about how kind of stable this tent would be, especially in high winds, but I haven't had it in high winds yet, but if I tightened up all the guy lines, I reckon it wouldn't be too bad. So this tent comes in options of 3 or 4 season. I got the 3 season, which basically the only difference is this inner is mesh, as opposed to the 4 season, which is kind of like opaque. It's meant to provide you a bit more warmth. But yeah, I've got other tents I can use in the winter, so I wouldn't be using this. As you can see, it's a double wall tent, so it's got an inner and a fly sheet. So there's plenty of ventilation, and you can see underneath the actual fly sheet is a good few inches off the ground all the way around. So that should provide really good ventilation and minimise condensation on the inside. So should keep the inside relatively dry. So the actual specs of this tent then, the length, or the interior length, is 210 centimetres, interior width is 110 centimetres, and the maximum height is 120 centimeters. The weight of this tent is 1,155 grams, or £2 9 ounces. I think it was £2 8, £2 9 ounces. So that's pretty cheap, pretty light, because it doesn't have doesn't come with tent poles. It's really lightweight fabric. Just over a kilogram for a two-person tent is pretty impressive. The fly sheet is a 15 denier fabric, nylon fabric, and it has a waterproofness of 5,000 millimeters. Basically what that means is it's tested, and they put a cylinder of water over the material, and basically they fill up the cylinder, and at 5,000 mils this started to let water through. It's not too bad. I've seen some reviews of people who have had it in the rain. They said it coats pretty well, so just have to wait out when we can actually get out, and I'll test that out. The inside, inside base is what? Just done double zip up. This is a 20 denier nylon fabric, and it's got a waterproofness of 8,000 millimeters, as opposed to 5,000 on the fly sheet. So that's a bit thicker. Still feels lightweight. Again, like all lightweight gear, durability is kind of compromised to a certain extent, but you can always use a footprint if you're that worried about it. You can get some lightweight footprints out there, and they do, I believe on AliExpress they do specific footprints for this tent, or you can just cut your own sheet of Tyvek or whatever. As you can see, you've got a mesh pocket at either end for putting your head torch in or whatever. And one of my favourite things about this tent is that it's got a vestibule or a porch on either side, and the porch is actually a decent size, so you could easily put your bag in there, cook out one side, or if you are squeezing two people in here, one person needs to get up in the night, then they can get out of their side, they don't have to clamber over the other person, which is nice. Like most tents, it says it's obviously a two-person tent. It's a tight two-person tent. Obviously when you got your gear as well, it would be, and yeah, if you had a proper blow-up roll mats or anything like that, it would be relatively snug for two people shoulder to shoulder, especially if they're big guys or whatever. But yeah, they do a an option. Just clamber out. They do an option. Well, one person, the Lanshan 1, but I was going to get that because it's a lot lighter. But all the reviews that I saw said that if you're over 5'10", don't get it because it's quite a short length. And me being 6'1", I didn't want, so I use a down quilt, I didn't want my footbox getting wet from the condensation every night, so I thought I'll just get the two-person and be a bit more comfortable when I'm sleeping. On the inside there's a little couple of hooks that you can use to make a drying line or whatever if you need to dry some kit. None of the guy lines or anything are attached when you actually get it out of the packet, so you have to figure that out, but I suppose if I can do it then anyone can. You just kind of put it together and work your way around it. The tent comes in multiple colours on AliExpress. There's like a red one, a black one, yellow one, white one if you want to go funky, but I just got the green because I go wire camping a bit, so I thought it's a bit more incognito. Don't want to be ruining people's pictures from ages away. A key thing you need to know if you get this tent is that you'll need to seam seal these points here where the guy line has been sewn through. just get some seam sealer off Amazon or whatever. Just go over that, because where it's been sewn through, obviously there's holes, so apparently when it rains water drips through there. And I just noticed up here where the trekking poles are, there's little stitching here, so I went over that as well. Okay, so that's my kind of first look at the Lanshan 2 by 3FUL. If you have any comments or anything, put them down below. If you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up and give me a subscribe if you like any of the content. And thanks for watching, and wait out for the next video.